Hey guys, welcome back to RHR Jen. I'm so glad you're here. I just want to say happy Thanksgiving. That's right, I'm doing something different. I'm bringing back some of my favorite Catherine videos. I got a couple of those in here, and then I have one on what it was like to work for Her Majesty the late Queen. So I thought, let's have a good day. Let's be thankful. Let's avoid the other two and just enjoy ourselves. So these are things that I had previously posted. So if you hear me say something that doesn't make sense or is out of date, or if I'm talking about something that I'm saying happened recently that did not happen recently, then you get why. But still, we're going to look at some of Catherine's best gowns. We're going to look at some of her cute, more casual clothes. We're going to talk about Catherine. We're going to go into Her Majesty the late Queen and this cool interview I had found before that just kind of talks about what a really cool lady she was to work with and to work for and what that was like. So let's take a look at all this. And again, happy Thanksgiving. If you're celebrating Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. And yeah, I can't wait to bring you, new stuff. But today I thought, let's just have a nice day. We're talking Catherine. That's right. She's my favorite. I love her so much. I never make a secret about that. So I thought, you know what? Let's spread a little sunshine, a little joy. Let's take a look at some of my favorite of Catherine's evening looks. And believe me, there are so many to choose from. So many beautiful choices, but I can't help myself. Let's dive in. I had lots of requests for this one, so I truly hope you enjoy it. I know your favorite may not make the list, so that's where I want you to jump in the comments and tell me if there's one that you feel like I missed. Without further ado, let's jump into these and take a look. All right, here's the thing. I know you're supposed to wait till the last to post your favorite, but I can't resist. Here we go. Here's my favorite. You guys, it's this one. It's this Jenny Packham, which, of course, Catherine wears a lot, and you'll see a lot of on this list. For this one in November of 2022 for a South African state dinner. I just want to look at all of it. Look at all the details. The white looks gorgeous on her. The cut of it is gorgeous on her with that sash. I mean, I got to find a new word for gorgeous, stunning, brilliant, beautiful. The yellow ribbon features a picture of Her Majesty the Queen. It's the Royal Family Order. She received it in 2017. The earrings belong to Diana. I mean, perfection. Here is the Jenny Packham sketch. I could not see the back of Catherine's dress, so I have no idea if it had this cutout detail, but my God, gorgeous. I'm just blown away, breathtaking. I may or may not have teared up when I saw it, but there's Diana's earrings, there's a beautiful clutch, and there's the Royal Order ribbon that I was talking to you about with Her Majesty the Queen with diamonds around it. Here she is on the car ride to the event. I mean, gorgeous. And then here she is at the event. I promise I'm not going to go in this depth with every photo, but it's just my favorite, all-time favorite look on Catherine. Okay, I lied. There's one more dress I have to spend some time on, and it's this one. You knew it was coming. It's the gold James Bond No Time to Die premiere dress. It's by Jenny Packham, and again, I guess it's the silhouette I'm drawn to. I'm not sure. She just looks like $1,000,000. She looks like $1 trillion. Look at her. The gold, the cut of it. I love the way it kind of all moves toward the center of the dress, and oh my God, she's a goddess. Look at this picture. She's so happy. I love it. The car ride. They did her makeup beautifully. I love this dress so much. So gorgeous. I mean, chills. Okay, since we're talking movie premieres, I have to show you this one. Look at this dress. Black with the white on top. She wore it for the Top Gun premiere. It's Roland Mouret dress, and this was May of 2022. I mean, my God, incredible. I love this dress. I love the cut of the dress. Gorgeous. Okay, now I want to talk about her Cinderella moment. Literally, the color is Cinderella. It's ice blue, and it's an Alexander McQueen. She wore it to a state banquet in 2018. I mean, I love it. I love it so much. Look at this. I just think it's so beautiful on her, so flattering. I'm partial to blue, so I love the color. I'm totally drawn to it. What can I say? Gorgeous. In keeping with a very royal look at this one. I love it. It's Jenny Packham. She wore this in December 2022. She had a diplomatic corps reception, and I mean, what can I say? Look at this. Beautiful details. She wears it so beautifully. I love the makeup. I actually love the hair. It's like very big in this one. Like they whatever they put. All I can think of is the bump it, but they put they made her hair go big in this, and I kind of love the look. See the guy to her right? That's how I would be staring at her and smiling all night long. Hey, so we're going into green here. This is Jenny Packham. It's called the Wonder Gown, and I wonder why. So it was worn in March 2022 for her visit to Jamaica. Perfection. Look at this. The sparkly detail, the off the shoulder, the color. Gorgeous. I remember seeing this the first time when it was reported on, and I just couldn't even believe it. Absolutely gorgeous. So this one, it looks white, but it's actually a rose color. It's Swarovski crystals. It's Jenny Packham, called Rose Sequence. It's Pearlescence Rose Sequence, apparently. Fun fact, she's actually worn this twice on red, or in this case, purple, carpets. She wore it in 2011 and in 2016. She actually does this quite a bit, where she rewears things. So I'm going to show you some of my favorite rewears that she's done. So the left side, we have 2012, and on the right side, we have 2013. Kate wore a black lace gown by Temperley. It was at the Warhorse premiere, and then later at the screening of a David Attenborough documentary. I love this dress. I do. I love this color. I love the cut of this dress. This one is tulle Jenny Packham gown that she wore at a dinner at Kensington in 2013. And then a year later, she rewore it to the National Portrait Gallery Gala. Then, when researching this, I found out she also wore it to the St. Andrew's 600th anniversary dinner with the picture on the right in New York in December. There's that Jenny Packham again. I know I already showed it, but the reason I'm showing you again is because this is one of the ones she's worn on multiple occasions. This was actually the dress she wore on her first official engagement as a royal. So this is the shimmering Jenny Packham gown, and then she wore it for a gala dinner in Norfolk for Children's Hospice 5 years later. Okay, so this one, she wore a black lace gown by Diane von Furstenberg, and she wore it to the Royal Variety performance while pregnant with Princess Charlotte in 2014, and then she rewore the dress to a gala dinner while she was pregnant with Prince Louis. She is in a beautiful teal gown, again, Jenny Packham. This is for a gala dinner ahead of the London Olympic Games. And then that was in 2012. She rewore it at 2018 for the Tusk Awards. Okay, I say this about all of them, but I love this dress so much. This is a floral off-the-shoulder gown by Erdem. And she wore it on the left for the BAFTAs in 2017. And then she rewore it in 2019 for the National Portrait Gala. Who could forget this embroidered Alexander McQueen gown? She wore it in 2012. During a tour of Malaysia, and then she used the dress again in 2020, 8 years later, in keeping with the ceremony's sustainable dress code. All right, let's end this with a very fun note. So take a look at this one. This is by The Vampire's Wife, which is a great name, by the way. She wore this one in Belize for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. Look at it. It's gorgeous. I love the sparkles. I love the detail. I love that the flowiness, the sparkliness of it all kind of takes center stage here. I just think the color really suits her, and it's just such a fun choice for Belize. Here it is up close, so you can really get a view of that color. I just think the color really suits her. I love the earrings with it. Look, it's just dazzling. I could seriously make 50 videos like this. She's gorgeous in everything she wears, but I really wanted to put together her best gown looks. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sure I've forgotten your favorite, so leave me comments below. Let me know if there was something I should have included. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I love doing this one. Catherine, that's right. Let's take a look at my Ray of Sunshine. Let's have a nice palette cleanser. So many requests for another Catherine video. You got it. Today, I thought we could look at her beautiful casual style. You know, I'm such a fan, and I mean, she nails it. She always looks polished and elegant, even when she's dressed down and, you know, on mom duty that day. She just looks so beautiful. So I just thought we could take a look at some of her, well, her best moments, and you can let me know in the comments if I missed one or if there's a look you like the best. So without further ado, and in no particular order, let's take a look at this.
Okay, let's start here. I love this look so much. She's often seen in these boots, which we'll get to the boots because I found the details because I love these boots. Um, but she looks so beautiful. This is the sweater, the same sweater I believe she wore in that CBeebies bedtime story. So she often is re-wearing things. I love the fit of what she wears. I mean, she looks beautiful. Look at this. I could only dream of going hiking looking like that. But the boots are 475 pounds by Penelope Chilvers, in case you want to pick up a pair or pick me up a pair. You can see here, she rewears these quite a bit, but they're beautiful. I love them. The jacket she wore is 189 pounds. I love that. I love that when dressing down and sometimes even when dressing up, she is aware of prices of things and affordability and rewearing things and sustainability, things like that. It's not just a one-hit wonder. And again, I love that. I think the key with her is she always looks polished and everything is so well fit and everything is neat. And again, I'm not trying to bring up Megan, but I can't help it. It's just the complete opposite. Everything with Megan seems to be about price tag and over the top and not the correct fit and just not something you would wear again. So it's kind of a breath of fresh to experience something like this, where it's just an outfit you might actually be able to find in your closet. I also, when researching this, came across this jacket that I love. Far away, you can't really see the detail, but up close, you can tell it's navy and marigold. It's 98 pounds. It's by Barber. I hope I'm saying that right. But I love it. Look how, it just fits her so perfectly. And I love that, again, it's something that any of us could have in our closets. It's attainable. It's not $4,000 for no reason. And again, more pictures of her in the boots and the perfectly fit pants and then the tailored jackets. I just think it really suits her for a more casual look. We have this look here. I could never in jeans like that. My God, she looks great. I couldn't talk casual Kate without showing this picture. It's one of my favorites of her. And it's just, I think it's because it just seems like a natural, she just seems so genuinely happy here. And I love that she's into photography and she photographs her kids on their birthdays. And I love knowing behind the scenes details like that. And this picture she just seems so genuinely happy. It makes me happy seeing it. Here we have a beautiful pop of color. She looks so nice in the fuchsia. This is when she joined an 8th year science class, and she's wearing a Hobbs coat and Hobbs jumper, as you call them, but turtleneck, and she just looks gorgeous. I love it. Again, to me, it's all about the fit, the tailoring, the lack of messy. She just looks really well put together here, and I do love this look so much. And speaking of color, I want to get into some of her colorful looks. So here she is baking with her children. And look, I think it's these candid shots I love so much. So happy just baking with her children, just a normal activity. And this beautiful gingham top and just the color looks great on her. I wish I could see more of the outfit, but just so cute. I love Princess Charlotte there. So cute. Here we have Catherine in 2020. She's wearing Marks and Spencer. Love the pink on her so much. Perfect for the park. She was at the park meeting with mothers to discuss how the virus had affected everybody. It was later in 2020. But looking gorgeous. Again, perfection in the park. It seems to be just perfectly fit to her and tailored and neat. And I could never wear anything white in a park, but she pulls it off. She looks great. Okay, now I thought we could move into some of her casual dresses that I love so much. This one is an Amelia Wickstead dress, and she wore it in July 2022 to a charity polo match. I love the piping detail on it. The dress itself actually came with a belt, which she forgoed, and I don't blame her. I just think it looks spectacular on her. Again, the fit is everything. Only she could wear a white to a polo match and not get it completely messed up, but gorgeous. She wore this dress as part of her Caribbean tour in 2022. This is in Belize. This is a Tory Burch dress. And oh, look at the colors. I don't think you could find a more perfect dress for the occasion. I love it. I love the cut of it. I love the length of it. Perfection. Sticking with the colorful theme, she wore this beautiful Michael Kors dress in 2019 for Princess Charlotte's first day of school. And we saw her in this beautiful dress, just not a silhouette we've seen her in a lot. Looks gorgeous. It's 2017. It was Alexander McQueen dress that she wore for a garden party in Berlin to celebrate the Queen's birthday. When I was compiling this list of my favorite casual outfits, I came across a few of them. There were less than $100. So I thought, let's take a look at those and see what we can afford. I love this one so much. This is a beautiful purple sweater that she wore. It was Warehouse and it was $69. Beautiful. She wore it to visit the Natural History Museum in October 2019. This is a $55 red Zara dress she wore in 2020 when visiting a children's center. $55. I mean, it's gorgeous. She knows the right materials to wear. They perfectly fit her. She just doesn't put a foot wrong. Here we see her visiting a farm in rural England, and she's wearing these. I love these pants. If you look closely, they're actually textured around the knees. They're Zara pants. They're $50, but again, paired up with those boots that she loves so much. Okay, so now we have William and Catherine visiting New Zealand. Here, she has paired a casual look with a boyfriend top from The Gap. Here she is having fun, having ridden the slide down. She's wearing a $90 blazer from Zara on her royal tour of Denmark in 2022. And I thought finally we could take a look at some of her best jeans looks. So here she is, off duty, having fun, being a mom. Love this look so much. I'm obsessed with those boots and the jacket. Again, she looks gorgeous. So on the left, she was dressing it up a little bit more with a blazer. And on the right, it was a hike that she and William had taken. So it's more of an adventurous look. Sometimes you can find her in colored denim. I love those blue pants so much. And then here's another color. And then finally, here she is, casual, hanging out with the kids. I love it. I'm bringing you a treat. Many of you sent me this. It was the Times Radio had posted this video with, I believe her name is pronounced Ailsa Taylor, and she was the press secretary for the Queen, and she goes on to talk about what it was like to work for the Queen. So I thought we could watch it together, react to it. It's something I did on Patreon a little bit ago, and I just wanted to share it here. Let's just have a lovely day and remember Her Majesty the late Queen and enjoy this interview of what it was like to work for her. You can find the uninterrupted video right here on YouTube if you're interested in that, and just be warned that it is just a segment of the interview, the part where she talks about what it's like to work for the Queen, so it just kind of abruptly starts. So let's get into it.
13. But I think what was the amazing thing about the job was no 2 days were the same. You know, you could walk through those gates, you know, and every day I did that, I was never with a sense of entitlement. It was always a sense of oh my golly, how fortunate and lucky am I?
This is her. I already love her, right? I love her attitude. I think that's how I would feel as well. I mean, of course, it's a job, but also how lucky am I to be able to be around this and to be a part of this? I think that's really cool. And I immediately liked her because of her attitude toward it.
And you know, every day would be different, whether it was dealing with the media, whether it was going on a royal engagement, seeing an investiture, or just being in the office and, you know, and meeting different people. So I think that was, you know, it was an ordinary person, me, doing an extraordinary job. So as I said, I counted my blessings every day.
And sharing the office with the corgis as well.
Oh my goodness. Can you imagine? I would never get anything done. I would be playing with the corgis. It would be hard to focus.
I tell you, Kate, when those corgis, you'd see them coming down the corridor, you know, and I'm a huge dog lover. But when I saw those corgis, I would shoot into the nearby office and hide because they were pretty ferocious. They were pretty ferocious.
Aw, I want to be covered and smothered in ferocious corgi snuggles. So cute.
I remember, actually, the Queen hosted an afternoon tea party for the All Blacks rugby team from New Zealand. So these great big, sort of 6'5", 6'6", huge guys. Jonah Loma was one of them. And when the Queen and the corgis came in, the Queen often used to use corgis to sort of break the ice and put people at their ease. and these huge rugby players were sort of all putting their backs against the wall in terror. I mean, it was hilarious.
Gosh, the things you must have seen in your job. I mean, how do you kind of sum up that period of your life? Because I mean, every day there would have been somebody, some extraordinary VIP in the corridors of Buckingham Palace, or somebody you'd be liaising with, whether it's from kind of President of the United States of America through to, you know, somebody who's been given the honour of going in to see the Queen, who's incredibly nervous beforehand.
You're absolutely.
This truly sounds like the most interesting job to me. It really does. I didn't even think about that aspect of it. It would be so fascinating to watch and to interact with people as they were about to meet the Queen or you know, seeing the Queen again or whatever the situation was. How interesting.
Right, you know, I've got so many stories, probably too many to say, but I remember from sort of the sublime to the ridiculous, Kate Winslet getting her award from the Queen at an investiture, and she was standing around with her then boyfriend, now husband, and so no one was talking to her. So I went up and said, yeah, would you like a glass of champagne? We're sort of hosting a little party in the Aquarius room. She said, oh, that's so kind. So she and her husband went in for a glass, and then I gave them a tour of the palace. And I thought, wow, this is Kate Winslet. This is really cool. So it was fantastic for me.
My gosh, what a cool story. I love Kate Winslet, so I would just be fangirling out over that. I have a question. Did anybody need me to give Daniel Craig a tour? Because he popped into my head when thinking about, you know, the Queen and celebrities and stuff. I'm happy to give him a tour.
There was a great moment from that investiture, actually. I remember that Kate Winslet came and people sort of said after her, what did the Queen say when you got your honour? And she said, you know, she asked me all about my roles and things like that. She said, oh, I'm also a mum. And the Queen, I think, replied, that's the hardest job of all, or something like that. And I think that was those sort of anecdotes and those little snippets that we sometimes get that people share from their moments with the late Queen were quite revealing, weren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And you feel that you've got a personal bit of information from her as well. So here it is, you know, our monarch, our head of state, but she was a wife, you know, a mother, a grandmother, and a great grandmother, which, you know, we can all relate to. But she
Absolutely.
had, you know, just going back to, you know, people you meet. Yeah, again, I remember, you know, it just shows her kindness. She was hosting President Obama for a state visit, an incoming state visit. And traditionally, there's a sort of the formal arrival ceremony at Horse Guards Parade with all the, you know, with the troops and the horse-drawn carriages. And then there's an official lunch, but just for sort of the team, so the home team, so the Queen's senior staff, other members of the royal family, and the visiting team with the principal. So we were sort of standing at the pre-lunch reception, and I was chatting to another member of the household. And out of the corner of my eye, I saw the Queen walk towards us with President Obama. And I thought, I wonder who the Queen's coming to introduce him to. And she was getting closer and closer. And she stopped at me. And she said, Mr. President, this is my press secretary. And all I could think of is like a think bubble in my head. I was like, oh my God, it's the President of the United States. And he said, ma'am, it's lovely to see you. Then the Queen said to him, yes, my press secretary is married to a naval officer. And he said, oh, tell your husband he's doing an amazing job. And I guess, oh my God, the president is saying my husband's doing a great job. And it's one of those real sort of pinch me moments. You know, the Queen didn't have to do that. She didn't have to introduce him to me, but she did as a huge act of generosity and kindness.
Oh my gosh, what a cool story. That's incredible. And obviously it made such an impact on this lady. And I mean, just hearing things like that, stuff that would have never been otherwise advertised. I love hearing details like that, just small things that mean so much to so many people. And say again, I go back to Catherine and hearing details. And you know what I think about with Catherine? This is just so silly, but just when that little baby grabbed her purse, she could have reacted swiftly and grabbed it back, or she could have, you know, she's always friendly, so she would have found a friendly solution. She could have had, I don't know, whatever, whatever they're 5, 6, whatever, come in and take care of the situation. But no, she handled it with such grace and smiled and just was like, That's cool. Just give it back to me when he's ready. And she kept meeting people and wasn't even worried about it. It's so silly, but it's just small details of how people handle things, how thoughtful they are, and how kind and gracious, even when they don't have to be. I think it'd be totally reasonable for the Queen to, go talk to the President of the United States privately. But instead, it sounds like she walked him around and introduced him to people that were important to her. And that's a cool detail. I love hearing stuff like that.
That's so lovely. I think remember I remember her sort of very skillfully kind of manipulating the room in a way, just sort of going around being introduced to people. But there's all these kind of sort of stories about how she had these signals to her aides that, she was getting bored of somebody. She'd move the handbag from one hand to the other. I mean, how true are those stories?
I've never seen, to be honest, Kat, I've never seen her do that. But when she's almost got an inner time clock. And she knew when she had to move on, because if you're going to have a reception with 500 people, you can't meet all of them, but also you want to sort of sprinkle that bit of stardust to as many people as you can. So sort of Aquarius were very skillful at seeing where the next group of people were for the Queen to meet.
Just get lost in this interview, and I find it all so interesting. It's a skill that you most certainly would have to have in a position like that. And again, I can't help but think about Catherine, and I've seen her do the same in group settings, and again, all the royal family has to do this, but I just remember somebody, and they may have been on the spectrum or something, but they were very nervous and got upset when talking to Catherine, because, it was an emotional moment. And I just remember her thoughtfully reaching out and comforting that person and saying, it's okay. We all get nervous. It's all right. And what a skill, right? To be able to move through a crowd, but also make those, few seconds interaction you have with that person mean so much, and a very thoughtful interactions. I think that's an interesting and wonderful skill to have.
So it was all, it's like it used to go like clockwork. It really did. And the Queen would just say, well, it's very, very nice to meet you, and thank you so much for coming. And then she'd move on to the next group.
The Queen had seen it all, even by the time that, you got to the palace. She'd seen negative press, positive press. Did she have a kind of sanguine attitude towards it? Was she quite, how was she when you took things to her? Did you have those awful kind of, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to go in and see the boss with this awful headline and make her aware of something that was happening, or perhaps with someone else, another member of the family? How did you have those conversations?
Well, the Queen had all the newspapers brought to her every day. So, and she would read. I mean, she was vociferous in getting her knowledge and information. So that's how she found out. But if there was a brewing issue, we would put a note up. If it was very urgent, we would ask to see her. But yes, sanguine, and also, yes, she probably has seen it all. And you come into the royal household as a newbie, and you're like Tigger on speed, really. You're all very, very excited, and you put a note up to the Queen, thinking that you've got to come up with this great idea. You've had a light bulb moment. And you probably get a note down saying, yes, thank you, Ailsa. We tried that in 1972 and it didn't work. And you think, yeah, absolutely.
What would you remember what that was that you were asking?
No, I don't. I've crushed it out of my memory, Kate. other, it's just that you think actually she won't do. And she said, yes, let's take a punt on it. And I remember we were rebuilding the website. And our fantastic web editor, Emma Goody, came up with the idea of doing a sort of a 3D virtual tour of the palace to give a sort of a taster, a curtain lifter for the summer opening, just to encourage more people to book tickets. I mean, great idea, really innovative. Sadly, not my idea. It was Emma, so she gets all the credit. But there were a few senior members of the household, I won't name who thought this was a ghastly idea, and it took away the magic, and it was too modern, just too awful. So anyway, I put a note up to the Queen suggesting this, and she said, yeah, absolutely, go for it.
Sorry, I forgot to speak again. I'm so into this interview, but this is so interesting. Who do you think that the grumpy one was behind the scenes saying, no, absolutely not? I love that the Queen was so on board with it, and that's great. That makes me so happy to hear, and just up for good ideas. I think that's really cool and
Brilliant.
In
just
slightly
wonderful
more
lady.
regal terms, but yes, it was approved.
You are in the very unique position of having the late Queen as your boss. What were the kind of life lessons or career advice you took away from that time at the palace?
Don't make up when you're not sure of your ground. Be very sure of your ground if you're
Right.
going to, because she would see through any I can't swear, can I? Any rubbish that you might spin. So
Shrewd. She was shrewd. Yeah.
she was. She recognized someone who was, also she didn't like people who put other people down. She recognized she didn't like conceited people. She
didn't like people who sort of showed off. Because I remember being with her.
Yeah.
You sort of kindly introduced me at one event, and there were lots of people saying, "Oh, well, I'm this and I'm that," and she sort of seemed to find that all quite boring. People kind of show up about their
Yes,
status and
absolutely.
thing.
Absolutely.
This was just such a nice change and such a ray of sunshine. So I just want to wish even my non-American friends, it's still okay. I'd like to wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving. And if you're like, what's Thanksgiving? Well, it's our American holiday where we talk about what we're thankful for and we eat a bunch of food. That's most days in America, right? But so I am thankful for all of you. I'm thankful for you being here, for you supporting the channel. I'm thankful for your kind words, your uplifting messages, your continued support, all of it. I'm thankful for each and every one of you. I truly am. Thank you guys for being here. I could not do this without you. I'd be talking to myself without you. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did, and I can't wait to bring you all kinds of new stuff coming up soon. So check back lots. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.